Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I bet you have not heard anyone talk about before. We're going to talk about how to forecast and make predictions in Microsoft Fabric using GenAI and LLMs. Now, there's going to be plenty of code and Python and examples in this video, but before we jump into our notebook, let me create a bit of a context for you. 99% of the videos on the internet that talk about LLM and GenAI usually do it in the context of assistants or Copilot. So this is the first out of the two main GenAI use cases, and I believe that use case for assistants and Copilot is really annoying, not really interesting, and quite frankly, this use case will get commoditized very soon, and therefore I simply do not care about it. Pretty soon we're going to have a Copilot in PowerPoint, on our phone, on our watch, in our email client. It's going to be everywhere. So there's just going to be a common occurrence, a common technology that we interact with on a day-to-day basis. And as I said, there are thousands of people who are talking about it, and this is just not something that I am interested to talk about very much anymore. We might come back and talk about the progress of copilots in Power BI and Fabric maybe in a couple of weeks, couple of months, but overall, this is kind of a dead end. What I'm super excited about, and I think what's going to completely change our world as we know it, is the second use case, and I call it logic intelligence. So this is intelligence as it relates to core app logic and business and data processing. Now, I intend to cover all of these in detail at some point, and let's take a look at some of these examples. Number one is we have text summarization. Everyone who's used ChatGPT is familiar with this. I don't need to talk much about that. Data enrichment. I've tackled this a little bit before, and we're going to have a lot more content. I think this is extremely powerful and promising area where GenAI and LLMs can help out quite a bit. Dynamic data mapping, intelligent data classification, intelligent rules engine, and intelligent workflow. That has to do with replacing what-if logic and orchestration. Contextual anomaly detection, basically figuring out what's wrong based on a lot of dynamic parameters that happen in enterprise on a day-to-day basis. Simple time series forecasting. Yes, I've gotten LLMs to do time series forecasting with both trend and seasonality, just using the prompts. And finally, the topic of today's video, making predictions and forecasting. Now, before I jump into meat and potatoes, let's take a look at the data set that we're going to be using for our predictions. So this is a data set that I had used before, I think 5 years ago or something like this, that is looking at tips that various types of customers leave to the waiters after every trip. This data set is very simple. I have thousands of or several hundred visits of different types of customers, and my customers are family, couple, and students. Very simple. Students are usually very poor, couple hopefully some sort of date, and then family is just doing a family thing. And then they have a waiter that's either male or female, and we also know the age of the waiter, senior, middle-aged, and young. Now, what we also capture is how much was the meal amount and what was the tip. And what we're trying to do with our use cases here is based on customer type, waiter gender, and waiter age group, can we see if we can predict what the tip amount will be? So basically what we would like to do is to write a function that will take a type of a customer and the type of a waiter that's going to serve the customer, and that function is going to try to predict what the tip will be only using LLM. So basically just using prompts. I don't believe that there's anyone else in the world who has even tried to do this, so we're about to break a ground here and figure out if this is even possible. So let's go through our setup. The first thing we do is we install the basic components. I'm going to be using just LangChain library here. So we're going to install LangChain, LangChain OpenAI, and LangChain Community. The next piece of code is wiring everything together. So we're using Synapse ML library to connect to our Azure Key Vault, which is where we have all of our information. Everything else is pretty standard. One more thing that's of interest is the model that I'm using. I'm using GPT GPT-4o model. And what's interesting that until this model became available, the forecasting was not giving me very reliable results. But now with GPT-4o, I'm getting the forecasts and predictions that are actually very high quality. The next piece of the code is just setting up the environment variables. Then I create an LLM model. And what I want to do is I want to start working with LLM for the type of data that normally LLMs are not known for. I want to work with LLM and work with tabular data. So here what I do is I say, hey, can you generate a table with 3 columns and 10 rows, and then format in a certain way? And I just want to see if this is even possible. I want to see if it can generate a table for me. So it generates the string. Let's format this and see what that looks like. So what I've done is I've taken that string and I asked ChatGPT to format as a table. And here you go, we have a table with 3 columns and a bunch of rows. So I know I could get LLMs to do this for me. The next thing what we'll do is we will load our data. So I have a lakehouse. In our lakehouse, I have a table of tips that has this information. I'm just going to read it from the lakehouse and I'm going to load it into this pandas data frame called data. What I do in the next line right here, I'm skipping a couple of lines because they're not so important for now, is what I do is I look into my data frame and I say, hey, for my analysis, what I really care about is customer type, weight or gender, weight or age group, tip percent. So take this information, convert it to CSV, and store it into a CSV data variable. Now, when I display that variable, what I get back is a long file with customer type, weight or gender, weight or group, basically just the column I care about, and I have a file that actually looks just a CSV, just a string that looks like a CSV document. And now we get to the heart of our prediction approach. The way we're gonna work out our prediction is the following. What we're gonna do is we're gonna write a function, create context with LLM, that's gonna take 2 variables. Number 1 is gonna take our data, which is the CSV string with the columns and all of the relevant columns, and it's gonna take our prompt. So again, we're sticking 100% with prompts. We're not doing any machine learning, we're not doing any crazy stuff. All of the forecasting and prediction is done purely with prompts, prompt engineering. So what kind of prompt are we passing to this function? So again, the first attribute is just our data, right? So we're just passing the columns that we care about. Now what we want to do with it is the following. I need a table of all combination of customer type, weight or gender, and weight or groups from the provided data set, okay? And what I need to be back in this table is expected data tip percent, the average tip percentage, min tip percent, max tip percent, and I also say, hey, please return the table directly without any additional explanation or code suggestions. So I just need the table back. So after I read my data, I call on this function. So what I do, this function looks like the following. Create a full prompt. So I'm gonna take my prompt and I'm gonna take my data. I'm gonna create a human message, pass it to my LLM, and return the result of that invocation. And here in this line, all of that goes into my context variable. So let's examine what that looks like. So after it's run, I say display context, and what we get back is some sort of table. Don't forget that I asked the prompt to give me the table back. So this table is kind of hard to read. Let's format this and examine it so that you understand my approach. Now, I know that this is probably hard to follow, so I just want to put an accent on this step. Our approach is the following. We're going to look at all of our data. We're going to take our sample of the data, let's say 1,000 rows, something that we can pass in the context. And with ChatGPT 4o, you could pass a lot of data back as part of the prompt. So we're going to pass all of our data, and effectively what we ask it to do is to summarize everything by the 3 columns, customer type, waiter, and calculate expected values. And then we're going to use that table to help LLM provide predictions. So let's take a look what it generated based on the data that I passed. So now if it was a little bit hard to follow what is actually happening, this table here should clear everything up. So we have a file with thousands of visits that detail every single trip. What we've done with our prompt, we've summarized all this data. We've taken all of the permutations of all of the customer type, the waiter gender and waiter gender group, And then what we've calculated, we've asked our LLM to calculate expected tip percentage and min and max. So what's interesting that we can find here? So for example, student, we know they're cheap. We would not expect students to tip a lot unless it's a female young waiter who is serving, in which case we see that expected tip percentage goes quite a bit. Now, if it's a male young, we don't see quite as much of excitement. Now, when we have a female, family normally tips pretty well, somewhere within 19 to 24%. We can also see that depending on the gender and the age of the waiter, there is a bit of a difference in our tips. And then there is a date of a couple. We have also see that a guy is probably trying to impress his date. He's tipping pretty well, unless the waitress is a young female, in which case he doesn't want to make his date to be jealous, so he tips only on average 10%. So we have some interesting trends that this LLM model, the ChatGPT 4.0, took a look at the whole thing and basically was able, just from the prompt, distill this output that we can now use to make our predictions. How do we make predictions? Well, we wrote another function. We call it predict tip with LLM. So what we do here is we're going to pass our context or the prediction table. We're going to pass customer type, waiter, gender, and age group. So we're going to pass the variables that we're trying to use for our prediction. And then our prompt now says, hey, predict the tip percentage following these details. So we're passing the customer, gender, type, and group. And then predict the tip percentage directly. So we just want the result back. And in this function, we're also passing the prompt, which is this, and we're passing the context. So we're saying, use the context of the table that we looked at before and go ahead and generate what the tip percentage will be. So now let's test it and see if this actually works. Now, this is the cell we actually get to test our predictions. So I didn't show you these functions. These functions actually do the predictions based on math. And these are the functions that we reviewed that make predictions based on LLM. So let's run this and see what happens. So we see that in the first function, we're looking at student, female, young. And based on this, it says, hey, for student, female, young, the predicted tip is 32.44%. Then we're saying, okay, now do the same for a couple, female, young. And this is the jealousy use case. And we see that the prediction is very accurate. It says $9.25. Now I'm using my other functions. They're using math to predict. And we see that our values are very close. So for the same scenario, student, female, young, the math-based predictions are 32%, $32.66, and then 9.3. So we could see that prediction that uses LLM is very similar, very close to prediction that uses math. Now, if this does not blow your mind, I don't know what will. Think about what I've just done. I was able to take my data set and feed it to my OpenAI, Azure OpenAI LLM model, and have that model just using prompts I wrote a function that just using prompts, it's able to predict and forecast what the tip percentage will be based on the input variables. So as I said before, I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing nonstop news about assistants and copilots and all of these use cases that I just can't get excited anymore. I believe that two wars are coming. There's going to be a major AI war where the giants of the industry, such as Microsoft, Databricks, a bunch of other companies will collide as they duke out how to use LLMs to drive business outcomes. Not just silly assistants and Copilot, but figuring out how to drive tangible business outcomes using generative AI. So will we talk about assistants and Copilots anymore? Yes, every now and then, because it is kind of cool, and I'm very much interested to see how much improvement we see in those technologies over time. My passion, however, is going to be around logic intelligence. So we're going to be spending a lot of time and effort figuring out how to use GenAI and LLMs to drive tangible business outcomes. Our mission is to figure out how to use LLMs and GenAI, not just in assistants and copilots, but in your application logic components, in your data engineering use cases, in business intelligence use cases. Now, I know that I mentioned that there will be 2 AI words that are coming. I on purpose will not talk about the second one because I think I will be covering that shortly in some of the subsequent videos. What's exciting, however, is that I've been able to make tangible advancements across all of these use cases, and I will be covering these in the upcoming videos. So, if you like this video, if you are excited about what LLMs and GenAI can do for us, and particularly if you're looking forward to figure out how to do this in Microsoft Fabric, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you back soon on the next one.